Welcome to Canard Boulevard. My name is Scott, and today we are headed off to Rough River, Kentucky for the annual Rough River Canard Fly-in. This is a fly-in for canards that has been going on since 1986. So this is the 39th year that canards have flown to Rough River, Kentucky to the Rough River State Lodge Dam Park, or something like that. Rough River Dam State Park Lodge, something like that. Anyway, so all the canards fly there for a weekend of good times, good food, good people, good airplanes. It's a lot of fun. This is my third year going, and I absolutely love it. I finally got my wife to actually accompany me this year, and she actually had fun. So unfortunately, I have no cockpit audio for the first hour of this video because I forgot to push the button properly on my new audio panel. I'm still learning it, I guess, but here we are. We are taking off out of Medina on 27, and you can see that I used a fair bit more runway. Again, we are heavy. It's a hot day. Got my wife and then all our stuff in the back as well, plus extra stuff up front. But we are going to fly through some clouds here, so I did file IFR, and I'm going to pick up my clearance. You can't hear me picking up my clearance. Again, I don't have the audio on here, but let's time-lapse through this, and you can see my flight from Medina to Rough River. Here goes 2 hours of time-lapse. And here we are speeding along at about Mach 1000 all the way to Rough River.
I'm in my airplane, flying, watching Jimmy's World on my phone while I'm flying my airplane. What could possibly go wrong?
As we get closer into Rough River, it's kind of like a mini Oshkosh because there are canard airplanes from every direction, all coming in to land. Today is Friday. There's quite a few coming in today. There will be even more coming in tomorrow on Saturday. And you do have to start watching out for all that traffic. But before that, I heard something on the radio that just makes me grind my teeth. Despite the FAA saying, do not use this phrase, people continue to use this phrase.
Channel air traffic, November 29 Romeo Foxtrot is 2 miles southwest, turning left downwind, landing runway 31 Danville. Any traffic, please advise.
The only phrase specifically mentioned in the Airman's Information Manual saying, do not use this phrase. It is not a valid thing to say. Don't do it. Please stop saying this on the radio.
Someone calling for the Cozy 10 northeast of Rough River?
Yeah, this is Cozy 6-5, go ahead.
I'm 7 Delta Lima, also 10 northeast of, actually now 7 northeast of Rough River.
You're about 3 miles ahead of me. I'm at 3,300 feet.
All right, I'm down at 25, so I'll speed up.
See you on the downwind.
You have another Cozy 7 Delta Lima, 20 south.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, joining left downwind, runway 2, Rough River.
Cozy coming up on the left downwind. I've got you in sight over at your 9 o'clock.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, left base, full stop, Rough River. And Rough River, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, turning final, Rough River.
500.
And I'm going to leave the rest of this landing in here instead of speeding through it, just in case in the future anybody who is flying into Rough River just wants to have a look and see what it looks like, get the sight picture, and just get an idea of what it looks like landing on runway 2. Now, runway 2 is an upslope runway, so we typically land on it.
Cozy 65 Tango Mike, 10 south, Rough River. Dell, I got you off my right wing.
Hey, Russ.
So there's Russ coming in and Dell coming in from the south as I'm already just about to land.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 6-5, turning left base, Rough River.
So I know I've got 3 Cozies now coming in behind me. I don't want to clog things up, so I am keeping my speed up just a little bit. I'm going to land and then brake hard and make the turn off. That's my plan in order to clear the runaways for everyone else.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 197 Delta Lima, 15 south. Inbound will be entering a left downwind for 02 from Oldham Top, Rough River.
Dell, if you're going to cross midfield, I think I'm going to try a straight in here to fit in with traffic.
Yeah, I don't see you on my iPad, Russ. Let's see if I can see out the windshield.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 6-5, turning final, runway 2, Rough River.
This is the second year in a row that Dell and I arrived at the exact same time.
Rough River traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, clear, runway 2, Rough River.
And as I pull onto the ramp, I get my first glimpse of all the canards that are here already, and this is just the beginning.
River traffic, Cozy 65 Tango Mike 5 to the south, going to do straight in runway 2, Rough River.
The first thing I saw when I got to Rough River was this air tractor loading up with seed and then taking off down the downhill southbound runway. Obviously, he wants to go downhill for his takeoff because he's very heavy, but at the same time, there are inbound airplanes coming up to land on the northbound runway. You can see he used a lot of runway to get off. He was working until about 2 p.m. and then he called it quits for the weekend. We didn't have to deal with him much longer. And not long after he departed, I got a video of Russ coming in landing, and he did a pretty decent landing. Nice mains down, gentle down the nose. So Russ and his wife, Christy, came in for the weekend, and you can see them taxiing in here. It's only Friday afternoon, and we are starting to fill up already. Feeling we're going to have one of the biggest Rough River years ever this year. Here's a very unusual cozy. You can see with the unusual non-standard winglet interface from the wing. It is a retractable gear with armpit scoops because it has an IO 540 inside there. By 4:30 on Friday afternoon, we had quite a collection of aircraft. Lots of Long-EZs and cozies. We even had one Defiant. We had a couple of VariEzes. Probably more cozies than anything else, but the Long-EZs were definitely stepping up and arriving. We did have some people who were camping on the airport, and they had set up their tents behind the airplanes. And there you can see Russ and my plane there. As seems to always happen, everyone was congregating around Russ's plane, and then later at Russ's cabin as he organized a pizza party, which was very, very well attended by everybody.
Day 2.
We got lots of people camping here overnight, and including we got lots of people showing up here without canards who just love the canards, maybe are interested in the canards, and have just come up to check everything out. We got to see Terry Crouch arrive in his tiny little Quickie. This is the same Quickie he's been flying for, I think it's about 30 years now, with the original Onan 18 horsepower engine. You can see he shut down the engine and is just coasting his way in. Beautiful little airplane, really tiny. The propeller on it is really, really diminutive, and I actually took a closer look at this later on. We had our first Velocity arrive. There are quite a few Velocities flying today, but only a couple ever show up at Rough River. I'm not quite sure why, and this year was no different. We ended up with 2 Velocities. We had this one, and we saw another one that I actually had seen at Oshkosh this year. Is probably one of the nicest Velocities I've ever looked at before, and we'll see that one a little bit later. So Terry wheeled his Quickie into the ramp, and just as he did that, a cozy was taking off. There was a lot of flying going on during this. This is not just a static show. People are going up for rides. People are going up for formation practice. There is a lot of flying that goes on at this show. If you want to go take a ride in a canard, come on out to next year's Rough River, and people will definitely take you up for a ride in their canard. As you can see, canards definitely use up some runway on their takeoff roll, particularly when you have 2 people in the front seats. And a few seconds after the cozy takes off, a Long-EZ lands. You can see him doing some aero braking. You can see he's got the mains on the ground, holding that nose wheel off, using some aero braking to slow down. Then the nose wheel comes down and he can actuate the brakes. Long-EZs do not have a whole lot of cargo storage inside them, so some owners choose to build these pods that you can hang on the wings, and you can actually open those up and store baggage in there for extra storage space. You can just put soft duffel bags and that sort of thing in there. They're actually quite roomy inside. Here we have the twin-engine Defiant. It's basically a cozy but with two engines, one in the front, one in the back. You can see it has a much, much larger canard in order to support the weight of the front engine. It also does not have rudders on the vertical stabilizers, as you can see. Instead, it has this piece down here, which when you move the rudder pedals, it actually rotates, and you can see a little bit of trim on the very end there, and that is your directional control. Inside, 2+2, and you do have cargo space behind the rear seats. Very nice airplane. You can't fit this into a T-hanger normally because the canard is too wide.
Correct.
But this one has a little secret. It's like a upside down Corsair. Look at that.
And that's what it was modeled after, is a Corsair.
Yeah, that's fantastic. For most of Saturday morning, people just walk around and visit and talk about airplanes and stay out of the sun with what little shade our wings afford us. Saturday afternoon, many owners open up the cowls of their airplanes so that everyone else can get a look at the engine installations as well as some of the electronics. And some people open up the fronts as well. I know Mike did that so we could get a look at his vertical power installation. We'll see that in just a moment. And this lets potential builders and even other owners get really great ideas from everybody else and sometimes find mistakes. What do you see wrong here? So here's Russ's new 3D printed panel. You can see he's got his engine panel over here, and this is what it looks like. It's just this 3D printed piece here. It looks factory. Here we've got a Downdraft Long-EZ. You can see he's got shoulder vents, P-51 style shoulder inlets here to a fiberglass baffle, which he has a cover here that screws on, and then downdraft through. You can see his oil cooler here. All fiberglass baffles except for the intercylinder baffles, which he's got as aluminum. It's got neoprene between the engine and the inlets for vibration absorption. A little bit of heat shielding from the exhaust. Very, very nice, tight install. There are no two planes alike. This one has some unique baffling on the rear cylinders to keep them cool. Everyone does things a little bit differently. Canards, having updraft engines and tight cowling behind the airplane, are notoriously hard to cool. The engine always seems to be running too hot, so it's interesting to see all the different ideas that people have come up with in order to get their engines to run cool. Taking pictures is encouraged. This gentleman is from Australia. He's building a cozy and is taking pictures to get ideas of what he should be doing with his build back in Australia. Mike Satchel had lots of people interested in looking at the vertical power electrical system that he installed in his cozy. Beautiful vertical power installation here.
With a duck.
With a duck. It's a lot of terminal strips in there. Would you have done anything differently now that you know?
No, I think I'm happy with that decision, because if vertical power goes out of business or I'm unhappy with it, it'll be an easy change.
Right.
And so since everything's already terminated into those terminal strips, it'd be an easy patch in for the fuse blocks.
Sure. I don't think there's an engine in there. There's no room for an engine in there.
I see a barbecue drip tray.
That's a pattern detector. That's how I can not here till where it's dripping.
3 Long-EZs and a cozy took off to do some formation work overhead. I got to meet up with Frank again and his absolutely beautiful Velocity I saw at Oshkosh this year. Just look at the gorgeous interior and panel in this airplane, just the quality of fit and finish. He did do a factory assist build for this airplane, and it really shows. It's just a gorgeous airplane. He was here with a more experienced pilot. He's a fairly new pilot, and this is a new plane to him, so good on him for taking that decision. I did get to see him take off, oddly enough, taking off to the north, unlike everybody else. You can see a little bit of over-rotation there. And this has an IO360 engine, the same as my plane. It sounds more powerful because it is a 200 horsepower variant, and it also has a constant speed prop, so it is running at 2,700 RPM on takeoff there. So Saturday afternoon, at the height of the attendance, you can see my airplane there. We had 22 Cozies and 21 Long-EZs, VariEzes, Defiant, and everything else. So Cozies once again took over. How you doing, Mike? Hi, Scott. You got another Victor you taking up? And like I said, there is constantly rides going on. Here's Mike giving a ride to yet another builder. Everybody is so friendly. And as you can see, there's Rosie, one of the Cozy girls there. The Cozy girls did show up, and everyone was very surprised to see them. Walking around, looking at all the different aircraft we have here. Yet another Cozy with a Helinox chair next to it. I love those Helinox chairs. I have one of those myself. I did have to get used to everybody knowing who I was yet again, and me not knowing who a lot of people were. Wow, look at this beautiful paint job on this Cozy. But everybody was so friendly. It was really great. See, everybody knew who I was. They're like, hey, Scott. So it's just a really great group of people. That's one thing that I've really noticed about the Cozy and the Canard people in general. They are just really great, friendly people. Here's that beautiful Defiant. It's not too old. It's only been flying for a few years, and it has some really custom work done to that. The elevator trim system itself was, again, completely unique to that airplane. Everybody's waving as they go by. I have a feeling that they all knew that they were going to be in this video, so that's kind of the reason I was walking around, is just so everybody got a chance to be in the video. There you can see the captain in the seat of that Cozy right there. And then here we got a bunch of people taking advantage of the shade at the edge of the building, walking up on this beautiful Velocity. Look at the fit and finish. Look at the paint job on this beautiful airplane.
Hey, Scott, put us in the video.
You just made it.
We're fans of the channel.
All right, thank you. It is really gratifying how many people told me that they watch all the videos that I put out, and even just had comments about individual videos. So I knew that they were actually watching them. They knew they had questions about the videos and comments about individual videos. I love this little Quickie. It's absolutely tiny. It's like a toy almost. It's a single person airplane. It does about 100 knots if I'm not mistaken, and tiny little engine and prop, only 18 horsepower engine made by Onan, originally making generator engines, and you can see the tiny little prop driven by that engine. In previous years, they had a car show going on at the same time as the Rough River Canard Gathering, and as a result, we had a lot of non-airplane people attending, and I knew that wasn't happening this year. So I didn't expect a lot of non-aviation centered people to come and show up, but surprisingly, we had quite a few, and I answered a lot of questions from people who were just off the street or just happened by and saw all these weird-looking airplanes and wanted to know what was going on. That said, from all the airplane people there, I did get used to hearing, "Hey, Scott, I got a question for you." And I loved hearing it. I loved talking to everybody and meeting every one of you. It was a great weekend.
Day 3.
Coming up on 10 o'clock Sunday morning, everyone's heading out. We already cleared out quite a few airplanes. Looks like the Defiant's about to start up. Propeller versus sprinkler head hidden in the grass. Expensive lesson.
Russ and Christy packed up and got ready to head on out. I did my pre-flight, packed up the plane, and then off we went.
All right, everything's in the green. Airspeed's alive. There's 40. There's 60. And gear up. And there's VY.
Rough River Lancer, under Coco's back taxiing.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I did turn left as I was departing so that I could get a good look at the beautiful area of the trees and lakes of the Rough River Dam Resort, and also to get a look at all the airplanes on the ground.
Good morning, approach November 797 Delta Lima.
797 Delta Lima, Louisville first.
Louisville, approach November 797 Delta Lima is just off 2 India 3, looking to pick up a IFR to 1 Golf 5, currently 2,900, climbing 9,000.
7 Delta Lima, squawk 4007.
4007, 7 Delta Lima.
7 Delta Lima, radar contact 4 miles northeast of 2 India 3, clears at 1 Golf 5 airport via direct, climb maintain 9,000.
Clear direct, climb maintain 9,000, 7 Delta Lima. That was another great Rough River in the books. Had absolutely perfect weather all weekend. I think I don't know if it was a record, but we had an awful lot of airplanes. We had 22 cozies and then 21 canards of other types. That's Long-EZs, VariEzes. We had one Quickie, and then we had the Defiant and a couple of Velocities. So great turnout, lots of great people. It was so great to see all the people again that I haven't seen since Oshkosh and since last year. Quite a few builders showed up, just drove in or flew in other airplanes. We had quite a few other airplanes. We had a couple Glass Airs and Cessnas and so on, just came in to participate and enjoy. That was great to see. Of course, yes, it's great to see all the different airplanes and how people do things, but it's all down to the people. And the cozy community is just such a fantastic community. Just great people. And I don't know what it is about this airplane that brings great people together. I'm humbled to be among them, really, but I'm glad to be accepted as part of them and reap the benefits of all these great people that we encounter in the cozy community. Congratulations to the people who won the borescopes. They had the RAFE meeting last night, and I donated 3 borescopes for people to use as a door prize. So I'm glad to see we can get people borescoping their engines, because it's really the best thing you can do to detect problems in your engine before they become a problem. All right, so we're continuing to climb up. I'm going to put my oxygen on now.
US 5591 heavy, just disregard the altitude restrictions. Set to maintain 6,000, nodal 837.
And once again, we're going to travel home at several times the speed of sound, and I didn't really encounter any IMC on this trip. I simply filed IFR because it was easier to do so than just flight following. They tend to treat you a little bit better.
Traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, left base, runway 27, full stop at Aviation. Alright, landing brake coming out. Gas, our carriage switches belts. Traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, turning final, runway 27, full stop at Aviation.
Banana traffic, Cessna 07 Papa, clear 27, Banana traffic.
And just to prove that I don't cut this stuff out, I'm going to leave this perfectly horrendous landing into this video where I come in here way too high, way too fast, and should have gone around but landed anyway.
500.
You'll see the airplane definitely does not like it when you land and touch down at 80 plus knots. In my head right here, I'm thinking, you should go around. But nope. Bullheaded, I'm going to go ahead and force it down and land terribly. Ooh, ouch, that was awful. And of course, with all that extra speed, I am definitely not going to make the turnoff.
Medina traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, back taxiing 27, Medina. That was a horrible landing. High and fast, and I was thinking, yeah, I should go around, and then, yeah, I really should have. That was terrible. But we're here. So the end of Rough River was a terrible landing, but so be it. Medina traffic, Cozy 797 Delta Lima, clear of 27. And that is Rough River for another year. I had so much fun. I loved seeing everybody. Loved seeing all the different airplanes. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave in the comments section below. I do read all those comments. I love how much you guys have to say about all the different videos. If you have questions, I love answering them. And if you do like this kind of video, please click like. Click that like button. It really helps me out. And what really helps me out is when you guys subscribe to the channel. You get notified every time I post one of these great videos. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It helps me out immensely. That's it. Thanks for watching.